Now, making ends meet when it comes to insuring your home. Two private insurance companies want to increase their premiums by more than 50%. The Florida Office of Insurance Regulation will hold public meetings and hearings, in fact, next week on that cost increase. Right now, the cost to insure a home in Florida is the highest in the country. So this morning, we want to help you navigate increases in your homeowner's insurance policy. I mean, what should you do? We're asking Sean Way, who owns We Insure Group, to help us with this. He's an independent insurance agent and is joining us this morning to help answer some of these questions I'm sure that many of you have at home as you have received notification maybe that your mortgage is going up because your homeowner's insurance policy went up. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All right. So what should someone do if they receive that notification? Hey, it's going up and it's going up a lot.
First thing they want to do is talk with their insurance agent to see what their options are. If they're working with an independent agent, more than likely we have different options that we can look to see if we can save them some money on their homeowner's insurance premium. The other thing we have to look at is certain coverages such as personal property, and taking a look at that to see, do we really need, say, $200,000 in personal property, as well as increasing the deductibles on the homeowner's insurance. And if the homeowner's done any updates to their home as far as adding, say, a burglar alarm, that can save a little money on their premium. But it really, where the savings comes, depending on the age of the home. It gets into that roof issue and the age of the roof.
And I want to talk about that also in a minute. So the reality is that you might want to shop around.
Correct.
Then, right? You know, particularly before hurricane season starts, because once we've got a named storm, you can't change your policy or write any new business. So let's talk a little bit about, okay, I've received it. I know it's high. Do you call an insurance broker? Do you call in just a specific insurance carrier? What are the pros and cons so that you can figure out whether or not you can get a better deal someplace else?
Well, independent agent broker is going to have more options as opposed to calling a captive company where there's only one market there for the homeowner.
Right, so only one option then,
Correct.
Essentially. So, and you alluded to this, and I want to dig into it a little bit more. What are the factors that determine the cost of a premium as we all look at our own home and see what it is that maybe we need to do or could do to reduce the cost?
The two major things that we look at is the age of the roof, and a lot of times the age of the water heater is going to determine which options we can place that client with.
And so is there a certain age there, 10 years, 15 years with both?
Good. A lot of carriers look at data from Good Housekeeping, which says that most water heaters fail between the ages of 12 and 15 years. And so a lot of times if you have coverage, but you can't necessarily afford to replace a water heater right now, sometimes you have to just stay where you are.
Yeah, which is a good point, because what if you can't afford to replace it? Let's say you've got a home, and when you bought it, the roof and the water heater were newer, but now that it is aged, you do have an option through Citizens, correct?
That is correct.
Option?
That is correct. You can take a look and see how that premium and coverage is compared to what you have, and if that's a viable option, then yes, explore that.
And Citizens Insurance, by the way, is often referred to as the insurance of last resort. So that option is there for people who live in the state of Florida who are having trouble finding any insurance through another carrier. Okay, I want to just talk a little bit about what can bring down the costs of a policy. What is a wind mitigation inspection, and is that everyone or just people maybe who live at the beach?
No, typically it's a statewide benefit to homes built primarily prior to 2002, and it's where a certified inspector comes in and looks at the roof shingles, the type of shingles you have on your home, nail pattern, how the roof is attached to your home. There may be other credits such as glazed windows or shutters that you put over your windows and how your garage is constructed. That inspector will annotate that on that inspection form, and those credits can save you money on your premium.
Now, you talked a little bit, so I just want to go by this. Another way that you could look at your premium, you could, essentially have a higher deductible and then also lower the cost associated with replacing what you have in the house. So those are some options. Very quickly here, if you live in a community and a new fire station has just been built, can that help you? Should we call our insurance agent and say, hey, listen, this is here, and will it bring down the premium?
It will have an impact, and a lot of times when a station is being built, the insurance service office has already factored that in when we geocode the address of the home and the proximity to the fire station as well as the fire hydrant. And so when they get their renewals, sometimes they will see that their premiums have went down because of that new fire station.
And we know we've had some recent ones homes actually built here in Jacksonville. So for our viewers watching, just keep that in mind too. You might want to call your insurance agent. Sean, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.